Because to talk about the inverse, the function has to be 1 to 1. And that means it passes the vertical and the horizontal line test. So between 0 and pi, it's not going to pass the horizontal line test. It's not going to pass it also from pi to 2 pi. So what we need to do is restrict our attention to just a portion of the graph. So we can't restrict it just to from 0 to pi. But if we do take and restrict it from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2, then this is going to go up. It's going to go up to 1 here, and it's going to go down to negative 1 here. And that's going to be the interval to which we're going to be looking at the inverse. So it's between negative pi over 2 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to pi over 2. So just that portion of the graph. Now, a lot of times I'm using a 30, 60, 90, 45, 45, 90 right triangle. So let me review those. The hypotenuse is 2. The side opposite the 30 is 1/2 the hypotenuse. And the side opposite 60 is 1/2 the hypotenuse times the square root of 3. In a 45, 45, 90 for an isosceles right triangle, if the hypotenuse is 2, then each of the 2 legs are the square root of 2. So that would be good to refer to for the work that I'm going to be doing now. So notation, if I say y is equal to the inverse of the sine, then what I'm actually saying, if you were to read it in words, I want to know the angle whose sine is. That's what this means. And then after that. Because when you're graphing the angle in radian measure and then what the y value is. Inverse is just the opposite. You're given the y value, you want to find the angle. That's inverse. So I'm looking at, in this interval between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2, what angle has the square root of 3 over 2? So the square root of 3 over 2 would be, and we're looking at opposite over hypotenuse in the right triangles. So opposite over hypotenuse, that would be 60 degrees. And we're looking at these in radian measure. So the angle whose sine is the square root of 3 over 2 is pi over 3. Pi being 180 divided by 3 is 60. We're putting the angle in radian measure. So you have 2 different notations. You can say sine and then a -1 as the power, looking like it's the power, but it's a superscript, is one notation for inverse. The other one is arc sine, the angle whose sine is. So the angle whose sine is -1/2. Now the angle whose sine is 1/2 is 30. But it would be 30, remember, in that interval between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. So that 30-degree angle has got to be this portion down in here. So the angle 30 would be pi over 6, so it would be negative pi over 6. The angle whose sine is 3. Sine has a maximum value of 1, minimum value of -1. There is no angle whose sine is equal to 3. Therefore, there's no solution to this problem. The next one, the angle whose sine is negative square root of 3 over 2. Square root of 3 over 2 would be 60, or pi over 3. But it is in the 4th quadrant. it's between 0 and negative pi over 2, so it's negative pi over 3. And the angle whose sine is equal to -1, that would be equal to negative pi over 2. And these should just be equal to y here and equal to y here. I don't really want the equal sign in here or in here. That would be better.